Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is...
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it. Obviously, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass. That's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 27, Winston nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Jameis to throw it. He's got Burton here. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hurt down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Winston now finding Godwin, complete. The 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
Down. 8, read.
Now Jones, off play action. Got his man, that's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. The numbers for Jones last week, he was pretty prophetic. He said before that game, I want to get in the end zone often. He got there 3 times.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch a lot of footballs. That is important, but it's what you do after the catch that can make you great. And he had a great game last week.
The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of...
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Winston. This one into the hands of Burton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. On 1st and 10, Winston. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, it's Winston. And that will be incomplete as well. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Falcons are going to get it at the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary. So
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it here. Looking deep for Julio. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First down, Winston. He completes it to Evans. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs have taken the lead. It's
never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down, it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for it. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Now Jones.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Shaquille Barrett in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. Here's Jones from the gun on third down. Caught by Jones. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Throwing Jones. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 14. Jones now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Give him 32 on the play. Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Ready, black 25. Check right, check right. Check, check.
Draw play. This is Miller. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. The throw right sideline here is complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Throwing again on second down. Winston, and they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On third down, Winston. And the pressure gets to him again.
You better be ready next time.
And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe.
It got his man complete. And that one results in 35 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though.
Come on, fellas. Set 50, plant. It's just me and you.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Looking end zone for Jones. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Julio Jones once again the intended target. And now it's second down.
Let's make it go.
Jones now. Going to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with a Bucs on it, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Jones throwing on first down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons. Jones now 11 of 16 through the air. It's first and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Shaquille Barrett in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Another try after the first down sack. Jones, and he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 43. Working out of the gun, Winston. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. From the gun, Winston. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 28. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. They will run with Singletary. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Let's go.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score...
And this will be caught at the 30. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 49 yards. Back to throw. Jones. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta. Looking to throw. Jones to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 3. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, 1st down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
That's it. That's it. Big hit.
They go right back to Singletary. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Winston. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Tampa as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. And he's able to get it out of there. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2.
And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. You got to give him the football again here. He gets the big run down to the 2. Pay it off.
I like it. I like the call, but here's always the question. How many times do we see the big runs and a guy pats his helmet and says, take me out? Why would you go out when you've got a chance to get it again and score?
Intentional grounding, offense.
In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What do you see? And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. From 13 yards out, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw is Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And he's got his man Hilton. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his...
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston, this is Miller, complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight one-point game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And they're knocking on the door. Second and goal now in a one-score game. He's back to throw. He's got it to Hilton. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. T.Y. Hilton. His fifth touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted, and remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back at 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's complete to Hopkins. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position. Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. He'll look to throw. This one caught by Ridley. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Jones heading up here first and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll look to throw. This complete to Jones. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Back to throw.
All right, they picked up yardage, but they've got to get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it. They've got one timeout left, want to save it.
Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Back to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. One last shot now for Winston. He's got his tight end, Burton. Well, Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Falcons,